Alright, hey, what's up, guys? I'm here today with Echo Fox Superstar Jungler Akaadian, and we've both been talking about how the jungle feels way less of an influential role. We feel as if there's so many different nerfs that have come across the jungle role entirely that have made the role pretty much essentially useless, in my opinion. So, me and Akaadian are going to go over the pros and the cons of jungling right now. I don't see many pros, to be honest, and I don't think we're both using this as an excuse to not be able to climb. So we're just gonna get our points across, and hopefully Riot or anyone can, take our side and make some changes in the near future. So how are you doing today, Kaden?
I am great. So yeah, basically we just want to make this video to, I guess, talk about some of the issues. Like we spoke a little bit in previous days, just about, I guess, frustration with jungle, like how it doesn't feel as rewarding anymore to do certain things that jungle has essentially been required to be good at in the past, few years. I mean, I started jungling in season 6, and just from my perspective, the jungle role has never felt this like random and just like, I guess, weak. So yeah, we just wanted to go over some things and maybe suggest some changes to Raito so they could maybe take it into consideration, but mostly just sort of a video to talk about it. But yeah.
Alright, so first point, we're gonna go over solo queue before competitive. And the first thing obviously everyone cares about are the leaderboards. So if we go over the NA rankings, right now I think the highest jungler is Svenskeren or Chaser, and pretty much every other jungler in the top 20 plays two of the same champions, and those champions are Elise and Lee Sin. There's like one player that's ranked 15, I believe, Fireboy. He only plays Zac. He's a Zac one trick. So let's compare this season to last season. Last season there was like way more variety. There was Graves, Olaf, Nidalee, Hecarim, Gragas. So it was literally every jungler had a possibility of carrying. And if you look at it now, it's just the same two champions. There was a point where people would pick Graves and Rengar because those champions are also, heavy farmers and heavy gankers. They pretty much do everything. And that's why they were primarily only played in LCS. But solo queue's a different story. And it's like, honestly, Moby boots Elise, Lee Sin every game, skirmish 3v3, Windows, win the game.
Yeah, I mean, I have some also like similar perspective on this because when, for example, Echo Fox, we went to Korea in December or so, and this was right around when Riot made the change to give Krugs a ton of experience, and just in general, they overtuned jungle experience a lot, and I think maybe that's why it's so low now. They just overtuned it a lot in the beginning of the season. Like, when people were still spamming Lee Sin and Elise, but the difference was we had enough experience to like actually carry the game if we did well, and people would rush Mobies on pretty much both champions every game. But the problem was we were hitting level 6 when bot lane was like barely hitting level 4. Like, experience was just super overtuned at that point. There was too much experience in the jungle, and I think maybe because they messed it up so bad, they just decided to take it out of like a lot of things, and to where it is now is like, even if I'm fed as, this is the way it feels to me at least, even if I'm super fed as Lee Sin, like I had a game on Lee Sin where I was 15-1 the other day, or 16-1 I think, and my mid laner was level 17, I was level 15, and I'm just saying last season or previously, like before these changes came around, I didn't really notice it as much, because in the LCS season I wasn't playing so much solo queue, but that wouldn't happen last season. If I was actually 16-1 and had that many kills, I would be equal to my solo laners or something like that. It just feels like, I don't know, we're not getting very much experience in general, which doesn't give us very much control over the game. Like if you're just like a weak character in general that's like the level of 80 carries or below, then you're not going to be able to really influence the game past, the early game.
Right, I completely agree. And obviously, back when you would do red buff in the Krugs, hit level 3, go top, the enemy top laner's to level 1, that's like obviously an alright nerfing jungle experience, but now it's like, if you're playing Elise or Lee Sin, who have like one of the best single target DPS clearing jungle camps in the game, it's like, you just do those small camps, get some kills, and then you're still ahead or even in experience, and like not only... So you'll be behind a bit of gold, but like you obviously have the contributing factor into, absorbing summoner spells, giving your teammates leads in gold. Even though the enemy jungler is just like power farming, you're still gonna get the better trade-off. And that's what I'm not understanding, because the role used to be about decision making, like understanding how to path, how to play proactively rather than reactively. Now it's like if Lee Sin's ganking bot and gets a double kill, you go to his top side, you try to get some camps there, and there's nothing there. Because the camp timers, spawn timers have been like removed from the game. So I don't understand how like you're forced to picking these super good early game junglers that don't scale throughout the game and just rely on winning early game and letting your teammates carry you rather than being able to do some carrying yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I also think maybe it's just the champions that were popular. I mean, they received a ton of nerfs. I think Rengar is kind of a potato now on 7.7. I don't think he's very good as a champion. Graves is still super good, but he's permabanned, so pretty much don't get a chance to play Graves ever. And Kha'Zix got a ton of nerfs as well. So, I mean, those three champions were able to play well, but I think it speaks more to like it's if the champions were the things that were making the jungle like strong, if they were just too busted, like, and then when they go away, jungle is just like this, it's pretty obvious that the jungle role in and of itself is just not very strong. Like, you could pick up most junglers and do well, like if you path well, experience wise, etc. You had the option to play like maybe 10 or 15 characters in Challenger last season. When I was climbing in season 6, I played so many different champions like Kindred, Kragus, Hecarim, Olaf, Zac, Lee Sin, Elise. Like, I still played all these champions. Nidalee. I mean, those are just a few off the top of my head. That's like 7 or 8 or something. But you used to just be able to play a lot of champions and be strong in the game and do a lot. But like, if you pick something like Kindred, right, it's not an overpowered enough character to like hard carry the game, in my opinion. So your experience like deficit or disadvantage is just going to be too much for you to be able to do anything. So, I mean, I guess the other thing that we want to talk about is like, if this is the way that the game's going to be, right, where it's going to be really skirmish focused and like early game focused, then I have a problem personally, and so does Tarzaned, with the catch-up experience, because basically what happens right now is like if you do anything if you do anything proactive, you're really not that punished for it. Like, if you do something proactive and you waste time for like 30 seconds pressuring a lane, and this is, you don't lose 3 sides of your. If you lose 3 camps, it's pretty bad. But even if you do something proactive, let's say you gank a lane when they're not expecting it, you kill them, right? And then the other jungler takes the other side of your camps, like all 3 of them, even. It doesn't really matter, because you could just farm, and if you kill somebody who's higher level than you or something like that, it just puts you back into the game so much easier. So it feels like there's no like con to just ganking a lot in the early game. There's nothing really bad that can happen from it. You're not gonna have these massive level disadvantages that used to be able to happen if, like, essentially in my opinion, like, noobs just spam gank, right? Like, that's what I thought last year. If somebody's ganking a lot, like a ton, like only ganking in the early game, they were bad last year. And this year it's like, I don't know, nothing happens from it. So
Yeah, I find myself like double the enemy jungler CS of like 15 minutes, and I see them either same level as me or only a level behind. And back then it would be like 2 levels, maybe 2 levels and a half. Like, I would pretty much have to rely on tracking them down, their pathing, and making my pathing correspond to the way they are pathing, and making sure my ganks are efficient, where I'm going is efficient, etc. But yeah, as you said before, Graves, Kha'Zix, and Rengar, all 3 were superstar carry junglers. They could all farm and they could all gank properly. And if you look at them now, they've all been nerfed. I agree, Graves is still pretty good if he's against the right team comp, which is, not heavy AP. But honestly, at this point, I just feel like Riot is trying to make NA similar to Korea, where, Lee Sin has always been like the best jungler you can ever pick. Lee Sin does pretty much everything in that region. But I don't feel like the talent pool here should not be compared to Korea. And that's why I feel like they're just trying to make, I don't know, Peanut V2 come out of NA, which is obviously never going to happen, because just because Lee Sin is right in this meta doesn't mean he should be, we should all play Lee Sin. I'm not a great Lee Sin. I'm sure not everyone is, but I don't see like why everyone should play it. Like, look at Reignover. His team finished last place or before last place, and he didn't play Lee Sin. I'm not gonna say Lee Sin was the sole reason for his team's, lackluster performance, but it just feels as if they want us to play a similar jungle style to Koreans. And like another thing to take into consideration is when's the last time you saw Shaco play rank one? That was like honestly season one. I will dominate rank one, right? So look at now. Beautiful Korean hit like top four. Chase hit like rank seven or something, and it just feels like even though the champion was obviously a bit overtuned, it's like we're pretty much forced into playing this heavy pressure, heavy gank style that there's like no consequence in doing anything at all. You just have to gank, do one or two camps, and then you'll still be ahead, and your team will be ahead too. And it's really hard for players like me to adapt to that style because it's like it's all done in such quick succession, and we're all forced to do it unless we want to have a lower win rate, which is obviously what's happening to players like me.
Yeah, I mean, well, when you talk about the whole like Lee Sin thing, I guess that's kind of true, but I mean, I've been to Korea, right? Like, I've played Korean solo queue for about a month. I can definitely tell you guys, Korean solo queue at the higher ranks is much different than North American solo queue. It's almost every game is much more fast paced. There's a lot more fighting. Everyone's trying to be way more aggressive, and usually the games are over in like 20-30 minutes. It's pretty rare to have like a 40-minute game, but in North America it's pretty normal to have a 40-minute game. So I think maybe that's why we like feel as much. Like we are. I mean, I probably won't even care about this stuff. Or I might not even care. I'm not really sure. When I go to Korea soon, because they just play differently, right? But all I'm saying is in NA solo queue, it just not feel good to play jungle right now. Like, I actually have been queuing other roles, just like literally filling, and I feel like I can carry the games way easier when I'm playing like literally anything else, like mid, top, or 80. It doesn't matter. All those roles have way more strength, and that's never been the case so far in the jungle. And I really don't want it to be the case because I'm not the type of person who just wants to play a role that's like a potato-like support for your team, you know? So.
Right. So would you say competitive is also similar to solo queue? Because obviously there was an era where Kha'Zix was extremely broken, and also like I saw you popping off on Graves too. You were pretty much hard carrying those games. Do you think? I feel like it's just a catch-up XP that just ruined everything for the most part, unless it's different in competitive. What do you think?
So for me, my experience, at least playing in the LCS, was like in the beginning part of the season. You know, obviously Kha'Zix, Rengar were super OP. And Kha'Zix being let through a lot in pick ban, and he would just get first picked. Everyone just pick him first. And it was very easy to just kill everyone because that champion was overtuned at the time. Like he just had way too much strength. And yeah, I mean, I did pop out a few times, but once they like sort of fixed, like I agree even that those champions were too strong and they definitely needed nerfs. But once they nerfed the champions, it was like, oh, it's really hard to like do everything that a jungler needs to do now. And for that reason, Graves became the best champion because he could do everything a jungler needs to do. He can farm well, he can gank and team fight, etc. Like his ganks are fine because he's ranged. Like he has no CC, but he's ranged, so it's not a huge deal. But I mean, for me, past like week 5 or 6, I really started to feel it where, wow, I don't have any experience. Like I'd still be picking these carry junglers, you know, like Kha'Zix or something like that. But if you look at the games at the end of the season, if a jungler is like doing really well, he'll still be far behind solo lanes like mid or top or something. So for me, it felt really like unrewarding almost to play carry champions and do well, just because I wouldn't be that strong compared to other people. And it almost makes me feel like I should just pick like Gragas or something like this and just, you know, literally be the support for the team instead of, you know, trying to carry. But for me, yeah, catch-up experience was pretty annoying, I guess. But then I literally, when we went into week 9, I completely changed my mindset, actually. I was like, screw it. Like, this whole farming thing, I'm not getting anything out of farming. Nobody else is getting anything out of farming. So I decided to just kind of sack my my early game, like, normal farm path for in favor of, like, a cheese path, right? And I think as soon as I did that, I think I picked up, like, 3 or 4 first bloods against FlyQuest and Envy combined. And if you watch, what's it called? If you watch our match against Envy, it actually highlights this really well, where I was playing against Lyra and I basically just cheese ganked and I got super far behind in experience in the early game, but it didn't matter because I'm just able to catch up because of the catch up experience. Like This guy, I think he was like level 6 and I was 4, and it didn't matter in one of the games because I caught up so quick, like from random stuff too. Like he definitely played early game really efficiently, like made great decisions and stuff, but it just didn't matter because I like basically cheesed a lane, killed them, and then ran around with my team the whole game. So yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so if you were to rank jungle as a role right now, as far as carry potential goes, on a scale of 1 to 5, I mean, can you rank every role?
Mm, I think right now, AD is probably the top due to like Lucian and
Lucian.
Kalista. Yeah, I actually think AD can carry so hard right now. Like there's a good AD carry. Um, actually, it's probably between AD and mid. They're both really good. So 1, 2 are definitely AD mid, maybe close.
And 3 is probably top, and then 4 and 5 are
Jungle support.
flex between. Yep, I
I think,
agree.
but they're same. I think they're same. I think support can carry just as hard as jungle right now, and jungle's never been this weak on like the tree. Maybe like, dude, honestly, I feel like half this video is just like me. Uh, Maybe this is like what Riot wanted to do in terms of balancing, but like the reason I switched to the role is because jungle was strong, and like it was, it seemed really fun to play like all these cool things to learn and stuff like that, and it just makes me feel really bad that after I switched to the role and like I finally make LCS, they're just like, nah, screw that, man. Jungle's not gonna be jungle's not gonna be strong anymore. You know, like we're just gonna take all this power out of it. It's kind of lame.
Yep, and if you look at the top 1 rate jungle champions right now, I think the highest is Ivor, and champs like Nunu are also like beyond 50% 1 rate. So basically, the role is pretty much all around being a second version of a support. So if you want to win in solo queue, I guess pick Ivor and pick Nunu, focus those objectives, press E on your teammates, and press W on your teammates. That's what I'm getting out of this. Yeah, don't forget your retribution. I guess that helps too.
Redemption.
Or whatever, you get the idea. So I think we've pretty much said everything. Do you have any last words you want to put out there?
Not really. No, I think that was it.
All right, so thank you guys for watching. Thanks also to Akaadian for actually wanting to do this. I hope you guys can also put your suggestions and comments. Do you think jungle is overpowered? Do you think whatever? So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully this video can save the role. Peace.
Peace.